Welcome to Ron's Basement, where everywhere we look, look around. Do you see them? There's bubbles everywhere, except when we look at our old friends gold and silver. Maybe it's because they're so heavy. I don't know. They won't float. I'm not sure. But let's take a look at some of these bubbles and see what it's going to mean for the price of precious metals and the mining stocks going forward. Oh, well, the first bubble I see is the real estate bubble. A house recently sold in my neighborhood, a nice part of St. Louis, but it sold for twice what it would have sold for probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was in shock. There is definitely a residential real estate bubble in the United States right now, and it might just be getting pricked by higher interest rates. It's going to take a few more months to see how that plays out. Oh, I see another bubble. That's the general stock market bubble. Multiples and valuations are at all-time highs still in the general markets. I mean, everywhere except for the gold and silver mining stocks, right? Hey, when you look at them, I looked back 2011, I believe the GDXJ, the Junior Gold Miners Index, was 4 times higher where it is today. 4 times higher. We're far, far away from all-time highs in the precious metal mining stocks. Oh, and there's another bubble floating around, the bond bubble. We've had a, 30, 40-year rally in the price of bonds. Junk bonds are selling. I think they're yielding like 4.5%, 5%. Junk bonds. These are companies that can't really pay their bills. It is insane. That bubble might be getting pricked by the higher interest rates coming down the road as well. Hey, real quick, you'd really be helping me out if you subscribed to my channel, liked my video, turned on notifications. I put out new content almost every day relating to the metals, in particular the precious metals, gold and silver. Now, back to the video. And what about the Nasdaq tech bubble? It's deflated a little bit recently, but you've still got big cap tech companies selling at 10 times their forward sales, okay? Sun Microsystems, their CEO, Scott McNealy, after the tech bubble burst, looked back in awe at how Sun Microsystems, during the tech bubble, 1999, was selling at 10 times sales. Now it's not unusual for a big cap tech company to be selling at 10 times sales. And what about the cryptocurrency bubble? I mean, it depends which one of the 16,000 cryptos you're talking about. Some of them have come down, but just overall, that whole situation to me is just one big speculative bubble ready to burst. Well, besides bubbles, we've got some all-time highs. We could say we have a bubble in our national debt. $30 trillion? I don't even know how many zeros that is. I don't think I can put it across the screen. I'd say we definitely have a bubble in our national debt. And what about printing of money? They've set some records with that as well. I don't know if you call it a bubble or an all-time high, but printing of money by the world central banks, the Western world central banks, is definitely bubble territory. Hey, the other thing nobody talks about, but I firmly believe in, is we're at all-time high bubbles in corruption in this country as well. Probably the world. Maybe I'm naive and thought things didn't used to be this bad, but it seems to me like everybody's on the take. And I'd say we have a bubble in unethical, corrupt behavior by many, not all, but many of our leaders. And finally, I'd say we are in a bubble when it comes to geopolitical tension, risk, fighting, bad international relations right now in the world, countries reverting to more nationalistic policies. I would say that, at least in my lifetime, this is the most tension I've sensed going on in the world on an international relations basis. That was a long list, and let me tell you, I feel like Mr. Optimism after going through all those factors. But what does that mean for the price of real assets, metals, and in particular, precious metals as we move forward? I think it means the same thing it's always meant. that throughout all the centuries that gold and silver have maintained their value, they've ridden out all types of horrible situations, right? Even though right now we think this is the worst, it couldn't get any worse, it never was any worse. Well, I guarantee you, it probably was. And you know what survived through all of that turmoil, all of that upheaval, all of those bubbles, everything else? Silver and gold. Do you think silver and gold maintained their value during the tulip craze back in Holland? Yes, they did. Did it maintain its value during World War I and World War II? Yes, it did. Will it maintain its value going forward in our world? Yes, it will. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here. You're welcome in Ron's Basement anytime. I will see you soon.